Tonight on the Distort Report, talking urinal cakes have a message for Michigan men. Britain's Atlantis found at the bottom of the North Sea, and a New Mexico woman is selling her soul on eBay. These stories and more up next on the Distort Report. Good evening and welcome to another installment of the Distort Report. I am Ross, and as usual, let's get right to this. Topping off our story tonight, talking urinal cakes have a message for Michigan men. Now, imagine taking a piss or just a piss drunk, and you hear something like this beneath your belt.
Hey, listen up. That's right, I'm talking to you. Had a few drinks? Maybe a few too many? Then do yourself and everyone else a favor. Call a sober friend or a cab. Oh, and don't forget, wash your hands.
If you think that is a sexy voice, well, you know what? The Michigan Office of Highway Safety Planning has done well. Because in about 200 bars and restaurants, they have distributed talking urinal cakes to remind men not only to zip up their pants or to wash their hands or to piss on themselves, but to only get a ride home safely. And beyond that, of course, if you have a date, take her home too. If you want one for yourself, well, you're in luck because they only cost about $10,000 for these urine cakes right here. NOAA newsflash, mermaids do not exist. Just as the headline says it, folks, the NOAA actually announced no evidence of aquatic humanoids exist, which have inspired humans over thousands of years of myths and folklore. The reason behind this is because the Animal Planet TV network launched a sci-fi series titled Mermaids, The Body Found, which is meant to convince people by why mermaids have stayed hidden for such a long time. You know, kind of like Ariel and Little Mermaid, you know, we didn't discover until 1989 or so. The series is meant to be as comparable and convincing as the 1999 movie Blair Witch Project, how she existed as well. So we'll see what goes about that series right there. Good luck, Animal Planet. Britain's Atlantis found at the bottom of North Sea. Listen to this one. A stretch of land beneath the North Sea named Doggerland was recently discovered by scientists. Stretching from Scotland to Denmark, it is described as the, quote, real heart of Europe, end quote. Scientists speculate the once dry land was home to thousands of humans and woolly mammoths. It is thought after a giant tsunami hit the land, it began to submerge over the course of thousands of years as the Earth's sea levels rose. Still, there is plenty of research to be done on human burial sites. Standing stones, tree stumps, and a mass mammoth grave found there. Probably keep you more updated on this one. Woman accused of hitting pastor in the head with a Bible. Now, what does Ina Garrett from Memphis, Tennessee have to say about this?
He's got the demon in him.
Well, that sounds like your kind of woman, doesn't it? Well, it all started when a pastor said he was going to call the sheriff on her and other members, and as a lifelong member of her church, it drew the line for Ina Garrett, so she decided to get help and knocked him in the head with a Bible.
He's got the demon in him.
We had to show you that one more time. She was arrested and charged with assault, but you better watch it. She's back and on a mission from God. Because since this has been an ongoing dispute with the pastor, the church congregation wants him out and plans taking him to court. Interesting, Ina Garrett. Good luck. A New Mexico woman is selling her soul on eBay. This chick right here. After seeing her bid jump from $100 to $405 in just one day, it made this chick right here, Lori, happy. However, eBay has a strict policy of selling body parts and remaining on its site, so we don't know if she actually did sell her soul. But she described her soul as, quote, slightly used soul, end quote, and offered a, quote, Carfax, end quote, for people to see the black and white marks her soul had accumulated over time. Not being a follower of selling her soul to the devil, her motivation was to have her soul saved through conversion or prayer with religious bidders. Her only desire is to connect with another soul after being disabled in a drunk driving accident years ago. Good luck, Lori, if it did happen. Police say teen shoots self in attempt to wake up from shroom-induced nightmare. Not many people survived after shooting themselves in the head and lived to tell about it, but Steve Tilbury did just that after consuming several mushrooms, then drinking a tea made from them. He and his friends were at his home when the event occurred, but when they left after he fell asleep and he woke up later, He said he felt trapped in his home and thought that shooting himself would wake him from his nightmare. He tried to clean the blood off the floor and then went outside where a stranger took him to a hospital. He says he's not suicidal, loves his life. And speaking of getting the munchies, listen to this story right here. Potato chip trail leads to suspected burglar. Several bags of snacks were stolen from a fast food restaurant, and police were crisp on the trail, a potato chip trail. The trail led to a high school where they found and arrested Benjamin J. Sickles, accused of breaking an entry of the restaurant door in an unsuccessful attempt to open the cash register. He eventually threw cups at the register, grabbed 9 bags of the potato chips, and fled to school across the street. He was charged with burglary, criminal trespass, retail theft, and criminal mischief. Pretty dumb. A zombie park. This is news to us. Detroit to be hit by flesh and brain-eating zombie apocalypse. An article that has caught our attention this past week. An entrepreneur plans to turn a rundown section of Detroit into a creative and interactive terror theme park called Z-World, utilizing Detroit's rundown and abandoned streets. Professional actors acting as zombies would chase paying customers willing to yield paintball guns and try to seek shelters in ghostly homes, factories, and businesses. The entrepreneur says it hopes to give jobs to hundreds, if not thousands, of people and breathe life into Detroit, again after being plagued by years of decay. And that ends our weekly update of the Distort Report, but let's get to you. The zombie shit fit to print. The Eater's Digest. I like that little squiggly text there. Other than that, here we go. Wow. This story right here. Cops say Georgia man ate feces after snorting bath salts. This is 21-year-old Matthew Hammond. According to police, it all started when a woman called her son, shown right here, to be restrained since he was, quote, walking around out of his mind, armed with a knife, end quote, after he was snorting bath salts. And when an officer arrived, Hammond sprinted towards the police car, and as it pulled away, Hammond tried to enter the car by pulling on the locked doors and banging on the windows. The officer pulled his gun and requested that he stop doing that. Stop it! Well, after that, going back inside, he went to his home, challenged a police officer to a fight, was arrested, and that's where the officer noticed a foul odor from his mouth, where it was revealed he consumed his own doo-doo. That's disgusting. He was taken to a hospital and then to jail. Great story. Suspect, high on bath salts, threatens to eat people at Atlanta golf course, says the police. Meet Carl Laventure. After smoking a joint laced with bath salts, he came out of a wooded area and onto a golf course where he stripped down in his undies and started screaming about religion, Tupac Shakur, cannibalism, and threats to golfers, saying that he was going to eat them. He was pepper sprayed, and it took about 4 tasers to restrain him after officers arrived. He faces misdemeanor charges of disorderly conduct and disrupting a police officer. Interesting. Chinese cannibal attack caught on camera as drunk bus driver leaps onto woman and chews on her face. Whoa. A story similar to the Miami zombie cannibal. This happened in China this week, with a drunk bus driver gnawing at the woman's face. Meet Dong right here, his actual name, and pictured here on top of her. After a day of heavy drinkage, Dong ran into traffic, stopped the car, and started banging on it. The woman driving the car ran out of her car in fright, and that's when he leaped on her and commenced gnawing on her face. After an unsuccessful attempt of passers-by trying to remove him off her, police tasered him and amazingly escaped with ninja boom. Just like that guy right there. He was taken into custody shortly after, and the lady will require plastic surgery on her nose and lips. Good luck. Wow, that's crazy. Zombie attack, Indianapolis. David Martin fights off cops, stun gun, shocks, and ninja attack. Wow, check this out. This right here is David Martin in this video, seen naked with ninja skills after God knows what he took, since this article didn't say. But there is eyewitness right here, as you know, we're presenting to you. Cops were called out to arrest him after assaulting a female cop, and it took 4 to 5 cops on multiple tasers to restrain Martin. But he was still irresistible. It concludes with him running away, and that's where this article ends. So we don't know what happened, but we know his name. Okay, next story. Bath salts, zombie attacks, Pennsylvania hospital staff. Woman gave birth 2 days earlier. That's the headline right there. So let's meet and hear about Carly Murphy from Altoona, Pennsylvania. 2 days after she gave birth to a baby boy, she smoked bath salts and attacked the maternity ward staff. According to nurses, Murphy was discovered sweating aggressive and found naked and rolling around on the shower floor, appearing confused and unable to answer basic questions from the staff. Murphy gave permission to let officers search her personal belongings, where they found a dismantled black pen, a lighter, and, of course, bath salts. A chill pill was only a placebo to her effect because Murphy punched a nurse, kicked and bit an officer, and tried to escape her room. She also put up a fight after being arrested as she kicked a nurse trying to dress her. The chill pill kicked in eventually and she fell asleep. Upon permission from her boyfriend to enter her home, they discovered a range of drugs and paraphernalia. Both Murphy and her boyfriend faced charges of possession of drugs paraphernalia, with Murphy owning a slew of charges against her personally. Well, who has custody of Murphy's newborn son, who was born 2 days earlier? The story is unknown. Just like Tootsie Roll Pops, from what we said previously before in the other installments, the world may never know. But we know this. Check out the Distort Report on Facebook. You can find more than just this on a weekly installment. You can find Daily Doo-Doo. And I'll be introducing you every week. Yours personally, Ross. So we'll see you next week, because on the Distort Report, we are real stupid news.